Hey, what's up? Sal here from SJ Cooks. Today, I'm gonna grill up a backyard burger. Now, if you just got your Weber kettle, grilling up a burger is probably one of the first things you're gonna do. A grilled burger, in my opinion, it's the best way to cook up a burger, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. Let's get started. First, let's prep up our burgers. I have a pound of ground meat that I'm gonna divide into 3. Usually I like grinding my own blends, but let's keep it simple today and go with the store-bought ground meat. Once you have them divided out equally, or as close as you can get it, let's go ahead and form our patties. You'll first want to roll up into a ball and then flatten it out, making sure the edges stay together. But also be very careful not to work the meat too much. It's important for the meat to keep its form, but not be overworked since it's going to result in a more dense burger. In other videos, you'll see me use a kitchen scale to carefully weigh out each patty, and then use a mold to make a perfectly round shape. But with this backyard burger, we don't need to be so exact and perfect here. Once the patties are formed, let's season. Use your favorite beef rub that you have. I'm using Hardcore Carnivore black beef seasoning. If you don't have either, a 2-to-1 ratio of salt, pepper, and garlic is all you need for a delicious burger. Once both sides are seasoned, let's get the grill ready. Let's start off by filling a Weber chimney halfway, and then using the lighter cube to start it up. This is going to fill the Vortex about halfway. For this quick cook, we really don't need more charcoal than this. Now once the chimney is lit, let's bring in the Vortex and invert it so the wider edge is facing up, and then pour in our lit charcoal. This creates a large zone area for us to cook our burgers. Now, if you don't have the Vortex, go ahead and dump a chimney over and make a pile off to one side. This way you have a hot zone and an indirect zone. This way, if your burgers start flaring up or that area gets way too hot, you can always spin your grate and get those burgers off the fire before they burn. But since I'm getting some requests to use the Vortex more often, that's why I'm using it here today. Let's drop in our grate, and then let's drop in our patties. With the thickness of these burgers, you want to sear them for 1 to 2 minutes on each side. If you start getting flare-ups, cover the kettle with the lid. This is a great way to control flare-ups. 2 minutes later, let's flip these by first spinning our burgers off the hot area and then flipping over. These are getting a nice crust, which is what we want, and it's giving us some amazing grill flavor. They smell awesome. Now we're getting a lot of flames here, so let's close off the lid and it'll help calm down the flames. 2 more minutes on this side, so let's uncover and check the temperature. We're about 140 degrees here, internal temperature. So let's place them on the indirect side to finish them off. At this point, add your cheese if you have it. I'm going cheeseless today since I don't have any available, but I'm aiming for an internal temperature of 155 degrees Fahrenheit. And the carryover heat is going to take it to about 160, which is the recommended temperature for store-bought ground meat. Using a thermometer is going to allow you to get that perfect temperature on your burgers each and every time. You need your thermometer to be precise and fast so you can quickly temp your burgers and get your hand out of that heat. If you're interested in buying the ThermoPro Lightning, I'll have an affiliate link down below. Also use the promo code SJCooks20 for 20% off your next order. Now, if you're cooking more patties, just repeat the process and sear the next couple of burgers and then place them on the indirect side to finish them off. 2 more minutes and these burgers have reached a safe eating temperature of 155. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and toast the buns. For the buns, I'm going to add a thin layer of mayo. You could also use butter. Mayo just spreads easily and that's why I use it. I don't always remember to toast my buns, but when I do, I'm very happy that I did. So, pro tip, toast your buns. Once you get them nicely toasted, let's place in our patty on our buns. I'm only prepping 2 right now. The third one is going to make a great snack for later. I know you have limitless toppings what you could put on a burger, but I've decided to keep it very basic. Now there are toppings right off the bat that if you have them, be sure to add them. Bacon and cheese. Those will absolutely make your burger. Fortunately, I didn't have any at hand, but you know what? This burger is still going to be delicious. Let's build it. Let's start by placing in some lettuce and red onion underneath our patty. The top bun is going to receive some additional mayo. Let's place in some tomatoes, pickles, and some mustard. And that's it. That's our build. Ingredients are simple, but this backyard burger is going to be excellent. Let's give it a taste. We got a delicious backyard burger. Let's take a taste. Oh, that's good. It was a big bite. Now that burger was absolutely delicious. Very minimal toppings. That grill flavor really pops. I'm very, very happy. If you've never grilled up a burger on the Weber kettle, you have to do it. It's very, very easy, and it's a good way to learn your kettle. Now, if you want more burger recipes, go check out this playlist. I got a lot of them.